Hey everybody, this is John, and welcome to the free video. We got some action after hours with resignations at the White House. You can see the S&P is down 1.3%. So currently we're continuing to watch this wedge here on the daily S&Ps, also the direction that's firing of the squeeze, and most importantly, this 50 and 618 retracement. So for tomorrow, you can kind of see the line in the sand here. If we chew through that, things could get really interesting really quickly to the downside. So one of the things that we want to be watching tomorrow, well, there's a couple of things, but internally and intraday, let's take a look at this. So the only way that we're going to rally tomorrow, and the internals will tell us what's happening, okay, is this is the pattern we'd have to follow. First, we'd need to see the ticks hit minus 1,000 to minus 1,200 at the open. That tells us, like, man, the shorts are kind of throwing everything they got here at the open, and that usually means it's like the last of their bullets. Okay, and when that happens, typically you're going to see the markets kind of they'll start to peter out and they'll start to recover. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, we've got to see the combined index equity put call ratio push over 1. Okay, so when you get this combination, the odds are very, very high that you'll get a market that starts off with panic. Okay, and this is what happened on Friday. So you get a market that starts off with panic and gaps down, but then essentially spends the entire day recovering. Okay, and if you guys remember Friday, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a disaster. We recovered, we went positive, and we saw stocks like Netflix rip higher and stuff like that too. Okay, so on the other hand, what is it going to be a bad day? What is that going to look like? So bad days typically will take on a tone of a couple things. First, so here's 2 days back to back. You start off, here, let me bring this down a little bit there. First, you start off with the ticks kind of like, oh, we got a little bit of buying here. All right, oh, we got a little bit of buying here. Okay, advanced decline lines above zero, advanced decline lines above zero. The VIX is dropping. But what you'll notice here is that the put call ratio, okay, it just plummets. When it gets to 0.75, what happens is it means everybody's buying the dip. Okay, and if that happens, you can see if everybody's buying the dip, everybody's thinking it's going to rally, it leads to a puke. Okay, and you get the same thing here. Oh, we're starting off high, great. The advanced decline line is strong, great. Put call ratio stays under 1, we puke. So those are the things that we want to keep an eye out for tomorrow. So from there, what we want to do is just identify high probability setups for tomorrow where it's like, okay, well, gosh, is this something that we could buy at support? Now, believe it or not, if Netflix tanks tomorrow, I think it's going to be a fantastic buying opportunity. But there's also going to be other stocks that are going to be great short setups. So on the long side, well, I'd be looking to buy the dip on something like Netflix, and there's a couple of others that I want to buy, and I'll talk about those in the premium video. On the short side, I really like Facebook here, and so I'm hoping that tomorrow, we get a little bit of a gap down, and then nothing too major, and I can use that opportunity to establish some short positions on Facebook. Now you'll notice here what I'm looking for are specific high probability setups. Okay, so what does that mean? Because that's kind of a vague comment. So I would say that the person that has spent the most time documenting what a high probability setup looks like in our office is Danielle. I'm not sure if you know her or not, but we can take a look at that. Okay, real quick, got a special treat for you guys. For those of you that either are newer with us or have heard of Danielle, Danielle's got a very unique story. She's talking about it, or she talked about it in a webinar tonight, but I'll give you the 30-second recap and let you know what she's doing. So she came to us via a very random path, but ended up finding a home. And she has been in a unique situation because and I didn't know this when I first met her, but figured it out, after a while and working with her, and was like, all right, look, you just need to move from Seattle and come to Austin and work here. And what happened was is she's in a unique situation where she came on from a client's perspective and came into the room and was like, all right, John's doing this, Henry's doing this, Bruce is doing this, Carolyn's doing this, and I'm trying to find my footing, and I'm trying this, and I'm trying this, and after like a year or so, it just wasn't working, and she was losing money, and she's like, all right, I've got to figure this out. And what she did was she went through and found the things that, pulled stuff from me, pulled stuff from Henry, pulled stuff from Carolyn that made sense for her in being able to trade consistently and managing a small account. One of the things that'll come up is sometimes with people is like, look, I've tried all these different things. I've been doing this for years, and I'm still not consistent. I'm still losing money. And she nailed that. That's what she wanted. She's like, I want to solve that problem because everybody really needs to trade kind of based on their own goals and their own personality, and they can't just blindly follow one person. And I just thought that was awesome. So what she's going to be talking about is learning how she identifies higher probability setups with a smaller amount of capital. She does not want to take risks on something that's not a high probability setup. She's like, no way. So she's going to go through and tell you how she does that. How she adapted some of Simpler's most popular strategies. She's gone through all of them and has whittled them down to what works for her. Her strict trade screening process that she'll go through, how to spot trends for high probability directional option trades, her secret for drawing symmetry, her squeeze checklist for smaller accounts, her trade selection checklist, and what you can't see right below that is how to identify entries, exits, and targets, and things like that too. So I think this is great. Again, it's designed for kind of the beginning to intermediate trader, but even if you're more advanced, just being able to kind of step into what she's done over the last couple of years and said, wow, that's really actually some cool things that you've done in your trading plan, and I would like to actually incorporate that into my stuff. So she's going to do a strategy class this upcoming Saturday, and she's just going to lay out everything that she does. It's a nice 4-hour, $297 class, and I think this is something that'll get you on the right track to, again, if you're newer, intermediate, or kind of struggling, I think she's going to be able to clean up a lot of that for you and get you on the right path. And if you're just more advanced and kind of like always kind of looking to expand your knowledge, taking a look at what she's done and diving into our work and pulling out what works for her and kind of, hey, this is stuff, there's other stuff here I don't need. So it's just a great, it's a great story. It's a great success story, and her ability to kind of hone this down into practical things that people can turn into actionable, strategies and cash has been something that's just been amazing to watch. So the strategy class that she's going to talk about is right here. So it's, again, just $297. It's 4 hours, and it's on Saturday. For those of you that are interested in a couple more additional things, you can take a look at this. The Pro just also includes 2 days of live trading with her. So if you get into the live trading, it's like, okay, cool. I mean, I learned your strategy. Could we do this live? So that's all the difference is there. Well worth it in terms of if you want to kind of get your feet wet. If you can't attend any of those live, of course, it's okay because they're recorded. Now, the Elite is something for people that if you don't have the Ready, Fire, Aim indicator, if you're going to look at this and say, okay, and that's a tool that she likes. If you don't have it, it's okay. There's other things that you can use, but if you like that idea, you can take a look at this. Frankly, if you're not sure, the easiest thing to do right here is just do the 297, and you can find out more about that. And then last but not least, we've opened up registration for the online access to our live mentorship. Okay. If you're interested in that, this is a package that includes all of this plus access to our live online mentorship. That is going to be by itself $997. So with this package, you actually end up getting it for about $800, which is a savings. All right. And then if you already have the RAF indicator, by the way, you can just kind of click this and it'll give you a coupon that you could use to apply towards something else. All right. So hopefully all that made sense. Again, I think the strategy class on Saturday is going to be great. This other stuff, if you want to, don't want to think about it now and you can ask about it on Saturday, that's great. But I think this is a class that everybody's going to enjoy and come out with a lot of great stuff. All right. So you guys have fun. simplertrading.com/freedom. And looking forward to the Saturday class.